as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
Open up the history books. Here comes Rondell.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again. What a performance by Melvin Gordon.
And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers.
Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers extend one streak today, 6-0 over Rutgers, 42-7. The Wisconsin Badgers absolutely stomp those Scarlet Knights, who everyone's been high on. Everyone's been high on the Badgers, or on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and I think we absolutely hammered it. I've got a handful of stats for you. Brad Nortman alongside Adam Mertz alongside Alex Gravatt. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We are presented by Coors Light. When you need refreshment on game day, choose the beer that's as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. For peak refreshment when the mountains are blue, you know what to do, and that's crush a Coors Light. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Mertzy, what are your initial thoughts? How are you feeling after this excellent game?
I mean, blown away in the standpoint that this team showed something last week, and we tried to all put that caveat on it. It was Purdue. You felt like maybe you saw more, that that something had clicked in terms of this offense especially, but you wanted to get more hard evidence on it. And I tell you what, our producer, Hunter Vaughn, coming out with the big pregame prediction of that the Badgers were going to lay one on Rutgers. And, man, they delivered in all aspects of the game. There's that little doldrums in the second quarter, but all of a sudden this is a program where you're like, okay, these guys seem to have figured something out.
14 points in the first, third, and fourth quarter. Hunter, I know Ball Vaughn back in the ESPN Everlight Madison Solar Studios. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I knew this would happen. Alec Kaliak-Manis, or whatever his name is, he can't throw the ball. He's basically a tall, skinny running back. And the Badgers won on first and second down. They dominated. This is Wisconsin football. Respectfully, we're back.
and back we might just be. All right, I've got a couple stats I want to throw out. I want to know what stands out to you the most. Tyree Walker, 24 carries, 198 yards, 8.3 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Darian Dupree, 10 for 26 and a touchdown.
First career.
Yes. 308 total rushing yards and 240 total passing yards. Of that small sample, what stands out to you the most, Adam?
Wait, you forgot to give the number of snaps under center. That was what everyone was watching today, right?
Oh, well, I know there was a third down attempt under. It was 3rd and 3.
Right.
And we were joking, they're just going to knee it.
Yeah.
They're going to take the kneel so that we will stop talking about taking snaps under center. They want, and they proved it because they don't get the 3rd down conversion. They line up from the shotgun. They get the 4th down touchdown. It was great. But what jumps out to you?
Back to your question. I really think that the 308, the ability to run the ball, that was the big question mark. I think that has developed the last couple of years, like the commitment to running the ball, number one, and then the ability to – there's 2 things that happen in that respect today is that the Badgers have shown such a balanced attack that they are earning that respect up front to be able to pound the ball. And you can't just crouch in there like a lot of opponents have for the past, 6, 7, 8 years. As the passing game is sort of like taking a back seat. But the other thing is that you got to give credit where credit's due to the athletes on the field executing. The offensive line, I know that we've all kind of taken shots about what happened to this proud tradition of the offensive line at the University of Wisconsin. And those guys have really balled out this year. Starting against Alabama, I thought they showed something. They just weren't able to kind of put together that full game until last week. And they came out again today and just created giant holes for Tyree to take advantage of. And he's a really, really, really nice compliment to what they're trying to accomplish in what looked like some old school smash mouth football for Wisconsin, combined with an ability to put the ball downfield.
I was going to say old school smash mouth football for sure, but let's not forget Braden Locke had, what was it, a 47-yarder to Vinny Anthony. Will Pauling had a 16-yarder. Trech Kahuna had a 16-yarder. Everyone was getting chunk plays through this passing attack, which looks fantastic. Now, he did still have one boneheaded interception and another one that looked interceptable.
Yep.
But what do you make of the work that we've seen from Braden Locke so far this season?
As one of my friends texted me right before we came on, when did Braden Locke turn into a real quarterback?
Oh,
and I mean it's pretty wild. You gotta again give credit. This is a kid who people talked a lot about his knowledge of the offense and his ability to understand where things are supposed to go, what you're supposed to check off of, the options that you have as a quarterback in this offense based on what you're seeing defensively. And he all of a sudden is just seeing the field a lot better. He had the one interception downfield, as we talked about. That was an execution issue to me as much as anything, about not putting the ball out away from where the defenders can get it. The rest of the time, he's making nice reads. He's looking comfortable in the pocket. It was his other thing was his ability to stand in and take some hits when he has to. So you're feeling – if you're coming out of this game and you're like, I don't know what happened, overnight in the last 2 weeks, but I'm taking every minute of it. And all of a sudden you're thinking, like, this is a team that can do more than just beat Northwestern next week, that can do more than maybe give Minnesota a tough game at the end of the year, can maybe go into Lincoln and get a game, and perhaps steal one out of Iowa or Penn State or Oregon.
Perhaps. Listen, I'm not one to overreact
convinced?
often. I'm convinced that there's one of those three.
Okay.
And I think, listen, Iowa looks great. They are up there.
They are.
I don't know who they're playing right now.
Smoking Washington.
Yes, absolute debauchery on the field. Like, it's not fair. But you know what else wasn't fair? What we just did to Rutgers. Rutgers is he's an upward trending program. They don't have it in them to beat Braden Locke, the AI-generated quarterback, as Hunter Vaughn likes to say. Now, Hunter, you, midway through, when that interception went up, you were very clear that, like, if he throws it outside, that's still a good read. It seemed aggressive to start the game that way, but what have you made of his ability to stretch the field in a way that I don't remember Wisconsin football doing for most of my life?
I think it's a lot more the Phil Longo thing. There was a weird thing that happened in the media between where Phil Longo had a line about how I'm here at the pleasure of Luke Fickell, or to please Luke Fickell was the line. And then ever since then, suddenly the offense opened up. Like, I almost think that Longo needed to drop that line in the media to wake Fickell up and say, go ahead, just air it out. Like, let's just see what happens. Let's use these athletes. And it woke up this offense. And I think Braden Locke is the future at quarterback. I really hope, as much as I liked Tyler Van Dyke, they've got to stick with Braden Locke going forward. He's it. And then he can mentor Mabry Matoyer. We might see a 7-year stretch here of Wisconsin quarterbacking that we've never seen before. And I know it's only 2 games of this offense finally waking up, but I am convinced this offense is it. Phil Longo is the OC of the future. He needs to stay here forever, as far as I'm concerned. I am sold.
7 years of the best quarterback play possibly that the Badgers have seen. When you hear that, Mertzy, how do you? I got goosebumps. How do you feel?
Well, I was trying to do the math. I was wondering if Hunter would start rolling in Landon Locke, while we're at it.
Might as well. 10 years.
Just give it 10 years, right? Now, I'm going to withhold judgment on this a little bit, Hunter, but I like the way that things are trending. And the one thing I will say too is that you're seeing a lot of progress out of Braden beyond just the numbers. I'm thinking back to the things that have really held him back. It's the jumpiness in the pocket, just not enough of a comfort zone back there. I'm thinking about all the balls that have been batted down at the line and just kind of a lack of recognition of the environment around him when he's in the pocket. Does that change when you're bringing heat constantly and you have a team that's really aggressive against your front five? Perhaps. But those are the things that I'm enjoying seeing as much as his ability to connect downfield.
Braden Locke is looking good. I do want to just remind everyone, he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Think of the things you learn between the ages of 19 and 20. He's got to learn how to play football against people who, especially after the COVID year, there are people who are in their 6th and maybe even 7th year of eligibility. Like, people have been around and able to learn and grasp the concepts at a college level for far longer and in a very impactful way. So, yes, he looked really bad at times. And last year it wasn't great. But this year we're seeing a guy who went 10 for 12 to open the game. I mean, he's dialing it in. He's extending plays, and he's making mistakes. Yes, the interception was bad in the first play downfield where he overthrew, who was that, Will Pauling?
Right.
That's fine. That's a better mistake to make than underthrowing, which is what ended up happening with the other deep shot that resulted in an interception. But this Badgers offense looks like it has an identity, and the Badgers defense feels much more fired up and ready to attack than I'm used to. Here's one stat I want to throw at you. Meningus, whatever it is, meniscus in honor of your knee. 72 yards, 3.8 yards per carry. He did not look like he looked good, but he did not change the game, and that's what Rutgers is predicated on, and the Badgers took it away.
Yeah, and, this is a team, and last week we talked a little bit about, it was Purdue. Rutgers is not a world beater,
no,
as we obviously saw. But this is a team that went and beat Virginia Tech on the road, beat Washington at home, gave Nebraska a good fight last week. This is a team that was that mid-range that you're trying to be, like, where do the Badgers measure up? And I think that we got a clear indication today, especially on the upside, like we've talked about a lot, especially on the upside. The Badgers have a lot more talent and a lot more of the scheme going for them than a lot of these middling Big Ten teams do. Can they put it together? That was the big question mark. They hadn't put a game together in a season and a half under Luke Fickell, a full game. And all of a sudden you've got 2 straight weeks where they have. There's a lot of promise here, and it really changes. It's funny how it changes your outlook on where the program is headed, just what you've seen off of these 2 weeks.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. Brad Nortman is on assignment. Hunter Vaughn is back in the ESPN Everlight Madison Solar Studios. He's taking care of things, and we're looking forward to hearing from you all soon. 844-770-3776. Now, Kalimakis or whatever, the Rutgers is not a great passing team.
No,
there was a lot to take from this, but it is still keeping me relatively pessimistic. I want to say that we haven't seen it against a team that can truly stretch the field, spread the ball, things of that nature. Now, what we saw today was a really good job on the run defense, and that's what's going to be really important throughout the rest of these games. But what we saw, did it inspire confidence in you that, obviously Northwestern feels like it's a win. I'm willing to lock it in. But then as we move forward, can the Badgers start to stop some of those big plays and bigger players down the stretch?
Even after that monster win for Northwestern last night, huh?
Oh, my goodness.
Check mark for you?
Check mark.
Yeah.
Box is checked.
I mean, it absolutely should be. And I think a lot of credit has to be given, as you were talking about, to that interior of the Badgers defense. We knew that they were shorthanded. I mean, basically, like shorthanded coming into the season in terms of personnel. They lose James Thompson. They get shredded a bit against Alabama. They wear out against USC. The last couple of weeks, they've stepped up. I've seen a lot more physicality in the middle. Guys like Ben Barton doing what you would expect out of a kind of the hardworking Wisconsin kid who can jam up the middle. You're seeing Elijah Hills, the transfer from Albany, make some real upfield progress and be able to be a disruptive force in the middle. You're also seeing a Darrell Peterson, who I thought was just a bundle of energy today and making a lot of big plays. Great pursuit by the linebackers. This is just a unit that all of a sudden seems to be kind of understanding what their roles and responsibilities are, and to the point of last year's sort of mismatch with the talent and the scheme, these guys fit. They're flowing within this defense, and that makes all the difference.
The Wisconsin Badgers beat the Rutgers Scarlet Knight 42-7 844-770-3776. It's your way into the show, the talk and text line. Call in, text, and let us know how you're doing. Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time. Get housed. For over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. We're celebrating a 42-7 butt kicking that the Badgers just put on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and we will be back in just a moment.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Spooktacular savings are happening right now at Metro Ford of Madison. With 212 new vehicles available for purchase, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. The 24 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $15.54 per thousand borrowed, plus $3,000 total cash. Check out the 24 Ford Mach-E with 1.9 APR financing for 72 months, plus a free EV charger and home installation. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s and will continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, this is John Audius, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball play-by-play broadcaster. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand, Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
pass locked with an arm fake, looking end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Will Pauling hauls it in.
That was Jeff Levering on the call on the Big Ten Network as the Badgers beat Rutgers 42-7. That means the last two games the Badgers have won 94-13. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. Mertzy at the this is Wisconsin ESPN Wisconsin Gameday Postgame show. Hunter Vaughn back in the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar studio. Save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar today, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, and I would be so proud to be a partner with them today after an absolutely fantastic game. Now, we talked a little bit off air about this, Mertzy, but I find myself believing in Wisconsin, and you say maybe not so much.
I mean, obviously, super encouraged out of what we've seen the last couple of weeks, and really the first half against USC, somewhat the first half against Alabama. That was a game where easily could have been a 14-6 game at halftime if things would have gone the direction that you would have liked them to go for the Badgers. But I'm still withholding judgment. This is a show-me kind of team. I like the direction that they're headed. I feel like they believe, which is more important than whether I believe. Rutgers was billed as this team that was going to give them a physical test. They did not. They did not.
But that feels good.
Absolutely, but they did not. I'm looking ahead. I will look ahead because I'm a fan or a spectator, a commentator to the Penn State game. That's the game where I'm going to say, like, okay, they're going against a team that is a physical presence out there that loves to play hard-hitting football, loves to win in the trenches, can do a lot of things, is uber talented. How do you stack up against them? Right now, I think this is part of why. I don't want to diminish the accomplishment of what's happened these couple of weeks by saying they're already back. I think it was huge that this team showed that they are solidly in that middle of the Big Ten Conference. There were questions about whether they would kind of fall apart after those two losses, after losing Van Dyke, after Ches leaves the team. I think what they've done is impressive in enough of itself in getting this on the right track again for bowl eligibility and kind of pushing into that upper middle of the Big Ten.
Okay, so when I say I believe, what I mean is I believe the streak continues. I think the Badgers are going to beat Northwestern. I think that they've got a real good shot at beating Nebraska, who struggled mightily at home against this Rutgers team.
Yes.
And then Minnesota, despite them beating USC, I think that the Badgers are uniquely built to beat them.
And in Camp Randall.
In Camp Randall, those three things lead me to believe that this is a bowl-eligible team. This is a team that can then go and play, get those reps that we talked about in the pregame. There's a lot to like about that. So 844-770-3776. Do you believe in this team not only to be bowl eligible, but beyond that? And I think that's where we're disconnecting, right? Like, my belief is we're trending in the right direction. We get to extend this bowl game, which I have been very vocal about being an incredibly important part of this program for this year and the future. But I also said at the beginning of the season that the Badgers need one marquee upset or at the very least the kind of game that at the end this big dog, whether it's Oregon or Penn State, has to take a deep breath and say, whew, we escaped with that one. And I do believe that at home against Penn State, at home against Oregon, there's a chance one of those two teams has to really dig deep to beat the Badgers. And I think that right now where they're at as programs as two top 4 teams in the nation is really good. They will probably beat the Badgers. But can the Badgers take it to them and stick with them is my question to you.
And I think that's the part that I want to be proven. A 4-quarter game, can you hang with that caliber of either power in terms of Penn State or speed and physical talent in terms of Oregon? And that's, I think, still to be determined. But, again, what I'm seeing out of this team is – that they, since a lot of the personnel shakeups, they seem a lot more comfortable. There was just maybe a lack of direction inside the program in terms of who they wanted to give reps to, who they wanted to feature and focus on. and things were a little bit too distributed offensively, and that was a tough decision that they made to thin out the running back room and basically say, I like what Tyree Walker presents in terms of his running style and how we need to establish ourselves and how he complements what we're able to get done on the offensive line. I think the one big thing out of that, Alex, is that people were asking, has Wisconsin lost its desire to go out there and earn tough yards, to pound on a team? I think what they've done by elevating Tyree Walker to the number one spot through Phil Longo's play calling of the last couple of weeks is demonstrate, no, we are firmly committed to being a team who can still power run over you. We just want to have a more diversified offense that you truly have to respect.
844-770-3776. Scott in Fort Worth, we haven't heard from in a while, and I from what I understand, still no call. Is that correct, Hunter?
That is correct. We have yet to get a call from him or anybody. So the lines are completely open. I've got the phone on. I even double-checked it, called it myself to make sure that things were going through. So we are taking everybody's reactions to this awesome game.
People, this is exciting. Share in our excitement. Yes, it's not exactly what we expected for a season, but there's reason to be excited, and I want to hear why you're excited. Vinny Anthony looked fantastic. He averaged 40.5 yards per catch, and his long was 47. So, he's catching nothing but haymakers and bombs. The ball is getting spread out. Will Pauling had 4 receptions. You know who tied him for 4 receptions, most on the team? Tretch Kekahuna. We're getting people involved. We're getting exciting playmakers the ball. And despite all of this fantastic receiving news, and we'll keep you updated on Will Pauling, what we hear about that. Obviously, he was ruled out for the game with an upper body injury. It was a pretty nasty-looking hit, and it was a fumble, which it is sad, but we're not worried about that. We're clearly worried about what the future of his playing career and just personhood is moving forward. But Tyree Walker, I didn't know if he was going to have it to be the bell cow of Wisconsin football, and all bets are off. Yeah. He did it. 24 for 198, almost 200 yards on the ground today. What do you make of this explosion onto the scene after being named the number one?
It's well beyond expectations. He comes in the offseason from Oklahoma. He's a guy that played in 11 games last year and had developed a bit of a fan following in Oklahoma. I mean, watch him. Watch how he plays. How can you not get excited about that? But he just was never getting the kind of reps. I think he had two games where he had gotten 20-plus carries and had performed well in both of those games. He was putting up numbers like this. It was well into triple digits of what he was able to produce, so way more than 5+ a carry. But it's different when you're the man. It's a lot different when you're the man. What I love about him, early in the season, I felt like he was rushing his runs, speeding up into the line a little bit too much. He's been a lot more patient while still being decisive. So I've enjoyed watching him play, and I think just he's a little bowling ball. He just puts his head down and buries, and he's a tough target at 5'8", whatever he is, to be able to get underneath pad level, to get your arms around. He's always falling forward, and I think that sets a tone in his style of play as much as the yards he's gaining.
Oh, boy. ESPN Wisconsin knows the name, our veteran Bears fan, but today we're all on the same side. 844-770-3776 is your way into the show. Jim Rutledge, host of Jim, Matt, and Molly, 2 to 4 on 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison. Jim, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. I got to watch some of the game. Then I heard Tauscher on the call for some of the game, and the Badgers, whether it was listening to them or watching with my eyes, beat the snot out of Rutgers. And we were afraid of Rutgers coming in. Rutgers was a team that looked like a surprise, fun story in the Big Ten. And they were a team that was a powerful running team, a team that had run over most of its opponents. The Badgers were worried about their defense. Could they repeat their offensive performance? This game ended with the Badgers now allowing 1 touchdown over the last, and not really a meaningful touchdown over the last 2 games, and the offense clicking on all cylinders. And I think there's a ton to be excited about. And the Badgers play like this, it's the same way they played against the first half against USC and Alabama. And if they play like this against really anyone, I think they can hang in the games. Now, do they beat Penn State and Oregon? That's to be determined. But otherwise, they go out and play like this. It looks like a team that is not lacking talent to compete. It's more about getting the talent in the right positions and getting the players to believe. And if they crank off a third one against Northwestern, that's a hell of a winning streak to take to Penn State.
Man, you called it on the pregame show last week, saying that the Badgers have a real shot to set up a 3-game win streak. Northwestern obviously taking care of Maryland this past weekend, which was or yesterday, I should say, which was a little bit of a surprise to us. But we were asking the question, do you believe in this Badgers? Because I feel like I have a renewed belief in the team. And what does that mean? I think that it means bowl-eligible winning season. But where's your belief level on this Wisconsin Badgers team?
I think, after Van Dyke went down, I set the new bar at bowl eligibility and the young players looking promising going forward. And we got that. I mean, we're, 2 games away from bowl eligible, so the guys still got to lock that down. But that looks like it's within reach. And we're seeing glimpses of the young players, whether it's the running backs or the receivers showing up. The offensive line is blocking really all year. And defensively, so maligned, yet I think there was a great article in The Athletic that they're basically running the same fronts that they ran under Jim Leonard. Now they're just running it tighter. So this defense is climbing back to what it had been. They added a lot of speed in the secondary and linebackers. And then the D linemen, they were thin, but as they get used to playing Big Ten football, I think those defensive linemen are going to continue to improve. And do I believe this team has a puncher's chance against Penn State? Absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry. If Illinois can do it, Wisconsin can do it as far as giving them a run. And Wisconsin will have to catch some breaks. But look, coming into this year, I think the most realistic look at this Badgers team, and it probably still was Pollyanna, was say, hey, just beat everyone but Penn State, Oregon, USC, and Penn State, and that's a hell of a year. And I think that's still on the table, and then you have an opportunity to pull off one of those upsets. But if you knock out the rest of the games and take your bowl game, this season's a big plus, and that's something I can believe in, and I do think that it'll give Penn State. Oregon's tougher for me to buy, but I think they can give Penn State a run for their money.
Jim, what's changed in your mind the last couple of weeks other than opponent skill level, talent level?
Execution. I mean, they played some pretty talentless teams, or at least on paper, to start the season, the first 2 games, and maybe they weren't opening up the playbook, and maybe they were kind of playing possum a little bit for Bama and USC. And now looking back at it, you could say that's what they were doing. You could say that they were trying to figure out their personnel, not trying to put a lot on film. And then against Alabama and USC, to me, the matter of fact of those are is they're just not talented enough. That they ran out of gas. They came out there, and again, if you look back with hindsight, the way this team has played the last 2 games, and they got to go out and do it against Northwestern too, and Northwestern can beat you. We know that, especially at that stadium. But if they come out again and play another complete game, then you look back at USC and Bama and say, you know what? Those 2 teams, the Badgers just ran out of gas. They're not there yet. They're back to the past regime, leaving his team lacking talent, and Luke Fickell's doing his best to fill that on the fly to be able to compete with those teams. And then the storyline is the Badgers are still applying talent and adding more talent, but now they have the coaching staff that when the talent is in place, they can beat most teams, but not quite where we want them to be. But I think this team was further back than we wanted to admit as far as the talent gap in the Big Ten to those teams that they've lost to so far. And I think that with each win, you get to rewrite history and say, hey, they're trying to figure out their personnel, and they still have a long way to go to get to the talent to match those other programs, but maybe not with the coaching staff.
Absolutely, and it is tough when 3 of the Big Ten opponents are top 4 teams in the country. So 844-770-3776. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. I'm Alex Gravatt with Adam Mertz, and Jim Rutledge of Jim, Matt, and Molly joins us on the phone. Now, Jim, you tweeted out, I think we're just going to have to account for a few WTF throws a week from Locke. Now, it seems right now, as we're riding high 42-7, it seems like that's well worth the shrugging off of. But expand on that a little bit more. Do you think that this is going to come back to bite the Badgers in the butt?
I mean, the defense saved the day after that pick. Now, thankfully, it was a long throw today. And I mean, it wasn't a quasi-punt because I believe it was on like first or second down. But that's a throw that I'm sure that Brandon Locke, honestly, reminds me of some of the Jordan Love throws that somehow fall through. That throw, whether completed or not, would have gotten an F. Whether it was knocked down or caught or intercepted, the coaching staff is going to go back to Brandon Locke and say that was an F decision. In no world is that the throw you should be making. And Brandon Locke seems to be good for one of those that ends badly and maybe one or two of those that end well. And so maybe you have to take the good with the bad, and he's going to put the ball up there sometimes, and there's going to be a throw where you're like, God, what is that? But then there's going to be two or three other throws that maybe Van Dyke or Mordecai last year weren't going to throw, and Locke's going to throw, and then that's the trade-off of like, okay, we get the one pick, and, you know, if it's at least in the opposing team's territory, then it's not as bad, and, you know, we'll take that one pick for the explosive plays he generates because he is willing to put the ball up there and let his receivers go make a play.
I figure there's always a healthy balance when you're a coaching staff in terms of what you'll allow, the latitude that you'll allow. And rightly or wrongly, you saw with Graham Mertz that the clamps got put down very often and very tightly. And I feel like that led in part to his downfall. I think Graham made a lot of dumb decisions with the ball, and so that there's a balance here. But just thinking about how traditionally Badger football has been approached, it's so conservative in terms of the turnovers that you're also like limiting yourself in terms of what you can do to open things offensively and make big plays.
I think it speaks to the coaching staff. I mean, you're onto something there, but Paul Christ and his staff was risk-averse, and they weren't comfortable with the risk that comes with Graham Mertz letting it rip a little bit because, yes, maybe Graham Mertz ends a lot of games with 3 touchdowns or 2 interceptions or 4-2, and the Badgers win and they put up some numbers, but that's not how Paul Christ built this offense. This offense under Paul Christ was designed to, like, hey, we're going to kind of beat you to death, bludgeon you to death with a club, and every once in a while we'll throw a stone down the field. And so that's the way that they, in their minds, had to win. And so a turnover from Graham Mertz in that offense was devastating, and I think it ended up hurting the development of that offense as far as being a big play offense because they were coaching scared. This offense, for all of its maybe warts it has with still trying to figure out the running game and the air raid and scare some people, the positive of it is an interception or being down 14-0 and they weren't displaced or being down 10-0 isn't a death sentence because you have the offense and you have the quarterback willing to do it and you have the coaching staff that understands like, hey, we got to take the good with the bad, and if we're going to fling the ball around the field, there's going to be some interceptions, but we're going to get more touchdowns than we will interceptions. And again, that goes back to the philosophy of the coaching staff and the offense, where the last offense was almost coaching scared of don't screw it up because we have a great defense. And this offense is saying, let's go out and win some football games.
All righty, Jim. We've got Brad Nortman, usual host of the show, scheduled to appear coming up in a couple minutes here. You have anything, any last thoughts about the Badgers before we let you go?
Yes, don't get bit in the butt at Northwestern. That's it.
Don't get bit in the butt.
Right.
Words of wisdom from our good friend Jim Rutledge, host of Jim, Matt, and Molly every day, 4-6. Badgers win 42-7, and winners go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Be a winner at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. They're open right now, and they stay open until 2 a.m. on Mondays. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, and more fun. That was Jim Rutledge. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. Brad Nortman scheduled to appear next on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes: the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty Tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You never know what's hiding behind the creepy cash door, but if you're not too scared to find out, it can be very rewarding. Every Saturday in October, Ho Chunk Gaming Madison will have 12 winners open a creepy cash door to reveal a cash prize of up to $2,500. Plus, one weekly grand prize winner will take home up to $10,000. That's $160,000 in possible cash prizes Saturdays in October. Nothing scary about that. Get your share of fun, frights, and prizes every Saturday at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Josh Gavel is the service manager with Kirsch Appliance. Josh, your company acquired document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Why?
I think at the time we had an older printer and just things come up when you get older equipment.
Yeah, things like your older printer that didn't always work when you clicked print. And now with a new printer and service from James Imaging Systems,
things happen, they can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
James Imaging Systems, helping local Wisconsin businesses move forward with less stress, more peace of mind.
You get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Josh, your advice for local businesses?
I'd recommend James Imaging.
For less stress and more peace of mind, make the switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Monday nights this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia.
I like Braden Locke. We're fortunate
that you can go down to number 2 and have a day like that.
We would have loved the Braden Locke back in the day that could go throw the ball and do some things. You know, just anything like that. Now, in this dynamic offense that you have.
Spiral.
Yeah. Throw a spiral.
The Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia. Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN. From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Some games that have gone final in the Big Ten. Friday night, Northwestern took it to Maryland, 37-10 in College Park. And then 2 games have gone final in the Big Ten today. Of course, your Wisconsin Badgers dominating the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, 42-7. And then Iowa with a big win at home over Washington, 40-16. The Hawkeyes now 2-1 in Big Ten play and 4-2 on the year. 2 games currently going on in the Big Ten. Number 4 Penn State is up 3-0 at USC with 4:53 to go in the first quarter. Illinois is up 10-0 at the end of the first over Purdue. That game in Champaign. And then 2 games yet to go tonight. Number 2 Ohio State at number 3 Oregon. And then at 8 p.m. you've got Minnesota at UCLA. That game again kicking off at 8 p.m. Elsewhere across the country, the Red River rivalry, it's doing weird, wacky rivalry game things. Quinn Ewers throws a interception on his first possession of the game, and then Oklahoma misses a field goal. They're still tied at 0s.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Days driving on. We are thrilled for a 42-7 win. And hey, our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season for just $15. Get a Coors Light in a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. But we are thrilled to be joined by the one, the only, the incomparable punter extraordinaire, Bradley Nortman. Brad, how are you doing?
Well, with that introduction and a big Wisconsin win, I am riding high, feeling good. This team, maybe there's a team of October, in Braden Locktober, if you will.
I like it.
My big takeaway from this game was that Purdue wasn't a fluke, because I think you could look at that and say, okay, we've been waiting for the Wisconsin Badgers to have a complete game. It's one of the things I asked for, kind of like writing my Christmas list. All I want is one complete game for the Wisconsin Badgers. And they went out and did that against Purdue. And I think it's easy to say, okay, it's Purdue. Purdue stinks. Yes, it's a Big Ten team, but I'm still not on board yet. But there is no doubt that Rutgers is a legit Big Ten team. Now, they're not a top 25 opponent. They're not, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, but they're no slouch. And the Badgers went on the road, and they gave me another complete game, not just a, game number 2 complete game, but now stringing them together in successive weeks. So I had no doubt who the better team was on the field today. It was Wisconsin from kickoff to final zeros in the fourth quarter, and it was every phase. So I walk away from this game with a lot of optimism, a lot of confidence, a little bit of excitement, maybe letting myself get a little bit excited, thinking that this team might finally be finding its stride as to who it is, who it wants to be, and that is actually showing up on the field and not just lip service.
Absolutely. And your guy, the first punt of the game, your guy Atticus Bertrams drops a 39-yard punt on the 2. How are you feeling after that? We tweeted right at you because we knew it was coming.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I got to applaud my guy Atticus for he didn't even need the assistance of his gunners. He hit that thing, and it just leisurely to the 2-yard line. So it's just what you're looking for. And it honestly, obviously that, Vakos did miss that field goal, which could have proven to be something that would bite you, but the defense, as it did all day and last week, showed that, getting off the field on third down and coming up big when the team needs it, they were able to do. So just from the get-go, the whole game, offense, defense, special teams, they did their thing, including special teams, even with the missed field goal. And, I was just, for so long, I was curious what this air raid offense is supposed to look like, right? I mean, what is it supposed to be so pass heavy? Is it supposed to be, how much run pass balance is there supposed to be? Is it supposed to be fast tempo? Is it not supposed to be fast tempo? I feel like these last 2 weeks we saw what the blueprint is, and I'm encouraged by it. I'm excited by it. There's a sense of urgency to it. This offensive line, there's so many people to shout out in this game, so many units. This offensive line is really finding its stride. I felt like last year, we lost something, and maybe that was just the residue of just everything with the change of the program, but this finally feels an offensive line that is going downhill. It's starting to control the line of scrimmage, and they're putting man on man. And when they run the ball, I am seeing push. I am seeing actually pulling schemes, which looks like, I think even Jake Butt on the telecast said this, that, this is similar, has similar ideas to the old Wisconsin way. You're just spreading things out and starting in shotgun. So you're seeing things that are repeatable, which I think is really right. This isn't a fluke. This is repeatable. The ability to run the game. Tyree Walker, the question mark of can he handle the load? That question was answered to the highest degree today. And Braden Locke looked like he was finding his confidence. He was slinging it, and he has no fear throwing the ball downfield. I mean, that one ball you'd like to have back, that was that interception, but he has no problem taking shots. And I think that finally I'm seeing a glimpse, a blueprint, a mold of what this air raid offense is and supposed to look like. And let me tell you, when it's humming like that, when it's humming like it should, you can score points, you can score a lot of them, and you can score them fast. And you can still demoralize an opponent when the offensive line blocks like they did today, and when Tyree Walker, a guy like that, runs like he did today. So a lot to be and I even touched on the defense, which was outstanding all game. So a lot to be happy about. It gives me a lot of confidence. And, again, maybe my hopes getting up a little bit. This isn't a college football team. I'm not sure they're a ranked top 25 team. But this is starting to look like a good football team, and it's showing in back-to-back weeks.
All right, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Bradley Nordman and Adam Mertz. And your way into the show is 844-770-3776. We're live at the fifth quarter in Verona. Now, Brad, last week you said the Badgers might not be an upper mid-tier Big Ten team. You were worried about falling in with the Nebraskas and the Rutgers and maybe even the Illinois. After this week, it was proven it wasn't a fluke. Are you feeling confident that the Badgers belong at least in that conversation now?
A snapshot of today, the answer is yes. I think it's interesting. You're almost like you're experiencing all these mile markers along the way for the Wisconsin Badger season, right? You beat your non-conference games, and then here we go, top-tier opponents in Alabama and USC. And it was a test. And it was a test that the Badgers couldn't close the book on, and they couldn't quite play up to the speed with. So you're wondering, how far are they in this new look Big Ten? And I'm even looking right now at the Big Ten standings. First of all, it's just jaw-dropping how long this list is. To see 18 teams in
insane.
one standing is absurd. But, you beat a team like Purdue last week, and you prove we are not in the basement. Like, what story of the high rise are we in the Big Ten? We're not in the basement. We're not in the cellar. We're not in the parking garage. And after beating a team like Rutgers, who I believe, as currently constructed, that's a good mile marker. That's kind of like right in the middle of the Big Ten. I bet you they're going to end up with 7-8 wins, something like that. That looks to me, when you add in non-conference, that looks like right in the middle of the Big Ten. Wisconsin proved today that they are at least that, maybe slightly more. So can they be, we don't need to get too much into this analogy, but they are into the higher than above average snapshot taken today. So another way to solidify that is winning on the road next week against Northwestern in sort of a strange, unique environment. It always is in Northwestern. Luke Fickell can exercise some demons. I know they're not playing at the usual
No, they're
Evans
playing
Field,
where the professional ultimate Frisbee team plays. I've played on that field, so it's not quite Big Ten football caliber, maybe.
Yeah, but when it's so interesting, right? So I've read an article on this. This is going to nerd out economics right here, but it's one of the most sought after college football ticket in the country, and getting into the game, and it's like a total case study on supply and demand. It's so small, it can only have 20,000 people, 15,000 people. It's not big at all, but it's a beautiful scene. They're not going to be there forever. So there's a demand to experience a game there, but there's really not that many tickets. So it is a fascinating experiment on supply and demand. So anyway, part of me actually wants to see what that game is like. But to go back to your original question, where is this team ranked in the Big Ten? They're at least middle of the pack. They're probably slightly ahead of the middle of the pack. And the games against Northwestern, Iowa, Minnesota, not Northwestern, excuse me, Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota toward the end of the year, that'll really solidify where they are in that. But you have to walk away encouraged, right? Because it felt like, as a Badger fan, maybe you're starting to lose patience. Maybe you're starting to question the process. I know there were times where I'm starting to think there's something that seems off, something's not clicking. And all it takes is some moments like these to where things just start to click and confidence is there, and you can put it on film, because you're looking for that moment as a coach to put a game, a drive, even a sequence of plays, and say, that right there, that is who we are. That's what we're going to continue to be. That's what we're going to build on. Because we talked a lot about the offense, but the defense. I mean, I felt like all last year the defense was receiving the blows, passive, not downhill, not the aggressor. I really feel like since USC, and I know USC wasn't perfect, but things feel contested. They feel like they're running downhill. There's speed, there's aggression, they're the ones that are delivering contact. So, and against a running game and a running back like Manungai, try to get that name right, bottling him up in every pass contested and getting after Kaliakmanis, I mean, that's just something that you haven't seen in a while, and you haven't seen in the Luke Fickell era. And all you need is a couple games of that evidence, a couple games of belief, and guys start to buy into the vision. And I'm excited to where this goes. It's one thing to beat Rutgers. It's another thing to destroy them on the road. That's exactly what the Badgers did. So I walk away really optimistic, and it makes my Saturday a wonderful day.
What's left out there for you? Like, what? Because I'm riding that same high, watching this team. But you're obviously there's a level of competition that you have to just sort of like couch a little bit of your enthusiasm at this point, and not from a standpoint of like not getting excited, but like this game was not perfect. The Badgers are not perfect. What's some things you want to see them improve on leading into that matchup against Penn State in particular?
Yeah, I do believe Northwestern should and will look a little bit like we've seen the last couple of weeks. But then in the season, Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, and then Minnesota, who just beat USC, and anything can happen. So the question is, again, who is this team? What is their identity? What do they do on a week-to-week basis? We're starting to see what that is. We haven't seen blowouts like this for Wisconsin in a long time. So if you can take that stretch of games, because you're right. I mean, you wouldn't look at Purdue and Rutgers and say this is an iconic win. This is a signature win. I'm not sure you'd go
I hope
there.
Not. Yeah.
No, I hope not. But you look at Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska. I'm not even going to do Minnesota. It's a rivalry game. It's just different. But those are 4 quality opponents. I would like to see the Badgers play at this clip, at this level of performance against those teams. Now, the score might not end up what it's like. You might even lose that game. But if you play Penn State and Oregon at home, I mean, of course, if you win one of those games, that is a signature win. That is a defining moment of the Luke Fickell era. But even if you lose those games and you maybe beat at least one of the 2 of Iowa and Nebraska, and any loss is close, and you walk away and say, darn it, if not for this, if not for that, I feel good. You're going to walk away saying that the 2024 year was a successful year for Luke Fickell, and it is a building block to the vision that they cast in early 2023. And maybe you can start to see that. So to answer your question, Mertz, it is seeing this level of performance against a better opponent. And there's going to be plenty of opportunity to that for the rest of the season, particularly Penn State and Oregon at Camp Randall.
Listen, we just have a minute or 2 left here, but I want to push back on that because the Badgers last year had some good wins. They beat some teams they're supposed to. They beat Rutgers, this very same team, 24-13. That's a fine win. They hung in there with Ohio State for longer than anyone expected, and they doubled Minnesota last year. But we have not seen a blowout against a quality opponent. Purdue is not a quality opponent. Rutgers, this year, from what we've seen, is a quality tier opponent, and they won in fantastic fashion. That's got to build in the locker room to say, you know what, hell yeah, we can. I know that we lost to the 2 big dogs. We've got 3 big dogs remaining on the schedule, and we can go out there and we can hang with Penn State. We can hang with Iowa. We can hang with Oregon, and heck, we should beat Nebraska and Minnesota. Does that not affect the ethos of the team at all?
It certainly does. That conversation is happening in the locker room to where the guys are looking at one another and say, we got this. And you're right, looking back at prior wins, it's not like they were 3-9 last year where they were starving for wins. It just felt like up until Purdue, nothing was easy. It never felt like Wisconsin was just rolling, where they were in control, where they could just do whatever they want. Even those wins, they were ugly wins. Nothing was easy about getting that win. The last 2 weeks, it looked easy for the Wisconsin Badgers. And easy against Purdue is one thing, but easy against Rutgers, as you are saying, G, that's something entirely different because they are a team that has started to earn the respect of the Big Ten, and they do have some players on the field. So it's the confidence boost you needed. You need to wipe the floor with some guys, to be quite honest with you, to right. Get back to where you want to be and to take the field against Penn State at home whenever that game is played, whether it's 2:30 or big noon kickoff or night, to walk into there and say, you know what, we have been riding this high. We've been riding this confidence wave, and we've proven that when we play the way we want to play, we can do what we want to do. The best thing a coach can tell any team is something in the effect of, it's on us. Like, if we do the things we want to do, who can stop us? It's on you to do that. Never a situation of like, well, even if we do our best, we're not going to win. I think we're seeing Wisconsin at its best. And at its best, it's blowing out other Big Ten opponents, quality ones in that in Rutgers. If you can maintain this, most certainly you can hang with and you can beat Penn State. The question is, can they keep stringing it together?
All right, Bradley, we're going to let you go. You got anything else for us? You got anything we should be watching for? Anything exciting about the Badgers?
I'm just going to reiterate my early points. It's just like, it's so fun to watch this team dominate. And we've seen Wisconsin teams dominate in the past. But this is, when done right, this is an exciting brand of football. It's an exciting way to have wins be expressed, right? In this, this offense, a defense that's laying the wood. So I'm just, for so long, I've just, as you said, G, I've protected my heart. I won't get hurt. And I'm starting to look a little bit and say, this team, not this year, but I'm starting to have a little bit of belief, and I'm excited for what this team does. I had a wish list, right? This is where I'll leave you guys. I had a wish list, right? So I had, one full complete game. Well, we got 2 of those now, so that is double checked. Make a bowl. They got 4 wins now. They should win next week, and I think they're going to win one of their final 5 games. One of their final 5. So I think they're going to go to a bowl. Not going to get ahead of myself on that one. And I wanted their recruiting pipeline to maintain. Games like the last couple of weeks will maintain that. I'd love to see a top 25 recruiting class. And Hunter mentioned that in pregame, that they are getting dudes. So now I'm getting a little greedy. I'm going to add something to my list. I want to see 2 of 3 trophy games won. Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota. I want to see 2 of the 3 of those trophies in the Wisconsin Badger trophy case. Looking a little ahead, but that's I'm adding to the checklist now. So maybe you guys can chew on that one in the next segment, but that is my next one. I'm not going to say I need to see Penn State. I'm not going to say I need to see Oregon. I'm not going to say I need those. But I need to see 2 of 3 trophies in the trophy case.
2 of 3 trophies in the trophy case. Hey, dreams do come true, Brad. Thanks for your time.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Dreams come true. We're celebrating a Badgers 42-7 whipping of Rutgers. And if you're celebrating, remember to do it with Celebrations Entertainment. Planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movie nights, casino nights, and so much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. That's celebrationsentertainment.com. Celebrations Entertainment. Fun, memorable events, and this has been a memorable event as the Badgers win 42-7 over Rutgers. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day across the ESPN Wisconsin Network.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
The Island Showroom's fall lineup is packed with excitement. On Halloween, don't miss Lisa McClowry's acclaimed portrayal of the goddess of pop in The Beat Goes On, Cher. The rock anthems of Warrant Bring Down the House November 8th and 9th. And November 15th and 16th, country heartthrob Connor Smith hits the stage. Visit islandresortandcasino.com today to buy your Island Showroom tickets online or call 877-ISL-SHOW.
Spooktacular savings are brewing right now at Metro Kia Madison. The 2024 Kia Telluride is available with 3.9% APR financing for 48 months, $22.53 per thousand borrowed. Check out the 2024 Kia Sorento at 0% APR financing for 48 months, $20.83 cost per thousand borrowed. Browse their inventory at MetroKiaMadison.com and hurry in to Metro Kia before these spooktacular deals disappear.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Sports fanatics, join the Madison Area Sports Commission live and in person for Good Morning Sports on October 21st. We'll welcome former Green Bay GM and General Counsel Andrew Brandt, who hosts the Business of Sports podcast. It's hosted at the Forward Club in Breeze Stevens Field. Registration donations will benefit the MASC Youth Grant to get kids into sports. Register online at visitmadison.com/goodmorningsports. This event is sponsored by American Family Insurance and Oak Bank, supported by ESPN Madison, and produced by the Madison Area Sports Commission.
It's Indigenous Peoples Night at Breeze Stevens Field this Saturday, October 12th at 5 p.m. Forward Madison FC faces off against the Chattanooga Red Wolves FC. For just $30, get a flock and match ticket with an exclusive Forward Madison scarf designed by local Indigenous artist Charlotte Easterling, a member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Also enjoy a live halftime performance from a local tribe of musicians and dancers. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your ticket pack today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com.
You're listening to Madison's home of baseball's postseason.
Deep to left again. Home run.
100.5 ESPN. Stream the ESPN radio call of every postseason game free on the ESPN app.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day live from the fifth quarter in Verona. We're hanging out, we're partying, we're celebrating. It was a good win for the Wisconsin Badgers over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, which I didn't realize they have a full-blown knight on a horse with, like, armor. That's cool.
It's very Trojan-esque.
You think that they, like, joust when they get in the...
I think it has to happen. That should be a new Big Ten tradition.
Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every single day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believe that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Mertz, Adam Mertz, Hunter Vaughn back in the studio. And we have Drive to the Game, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers.
It's the Drive of the Game.
He's got the corner, and the Badgers touchdown answers quickly.
On ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers punctuating and pulling away.
The Drive of the Game is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, helping guys score for more than 25 years.
All right, Mertzy, we kind of just agreed here that there was one drive that stood out because in a ton of scoring drives, 14 points in 3 separate quarters is fantastic. But Why don't you tell us what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was reminiscent of last week against Purdue, where the Badgers kind of had this end of second quarter malaise, and you're kind of wondering, like, okay, are they going to be able to shift this back into gear after a really nice, strong start? In the third quarter, you're up 14-0, but getting the ball at your own 11 after a Rutgers punt, and you're wondering, okay, can they get this back on track? Tyree Walker, 33 yards on the first play. 2 plays later, Braden Locke goes deep to Vinny Anthony for 47 yards to the 2. And then on the next play, Darian Dupree nets his first career touchdown. 4 plays, 89 yards. That's a stat, kind of a ratio you don't hear very often in Badgers football.
No, and when you did, it was always on the cusp of, JT ripping one off or Braylon Allen, there we go, ripping one off. Like these huge explosive plays that aren't necessarily sustained drives, but this is a drive that was 33 to start, and then you've got a 47-yarder and a touchdown. Darian Dupree also getting a 7-yard tote in there, which is not anything to gawk at. It also interrupted 5 straight drives, not including the kneel down to end the half of nothing, where there's a fumble, a missed field goal, things that just these miscues that we were starting to, I at least was starting to get in my head. I was like, is this going to come down to it? It's a second half. This is the second time it's happened, like you said, where they come out, they establish who they are, they explode through the air, through the running game, and they just go out and begin to dominate a game.
Huge credit to the coaching staff. It was talked about a lot about how the Badgers haven't felt a lot of the times the last couple of years like they've been on the offensive. And today it seemed like Longo had the right play calls at the right time, and that Mike Tressel's defense was dialed in and was able to consistently stick with their discipline on keeping Calic Manis in the pocket and making him try to pass his way out of it, to the tune of 103 yards, I think he finished with today. And it just exposed him as the lack of passer that he is.
Yeah, and once the game was reliant on him, it just was over. And this is kind of where that happened, right? If you don't get out, if you let them catch up and it's a one-score game, all of a sudden they can run the ball, they can play the game that they want to, because the Badgers got out. And even though coming out of the half they did punt, they had a 5-play drive that went nowhere, they had a quick stop and then they turned it on. And from there on out, it was touchdown, punt that lands. Where was that? That was that was the touchback. That was Bertram's worst punt, which is still a touchback, which is fantastic. Touchdown, and then the end of the game. It was all over once the floodgates were open, and a lot of it boiled down to this one drive. Attention business owners and executives looking for a bank that's invested in your community? Look no further than Starion Bank, your full-service business bank that supports local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day across the ESPN Wisconsin family of networks.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truck Star Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truck Star is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truck Star Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Make a difference and donate blood today. Bloodcenter.org and Stoughton Health are bringing a blood drive for the community to the community. Friday, October 18th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our Community Health and Wellness Center, 3162 County Road B. Masks optional, appointments encouraged. Sign up online at bloodcenter.org or call 800-747-5401. Group code 3643. That's Friday, October 18th. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com. Creating excellence together.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon! And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
It is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day presented by Coors Light. When you need refreshment on game day, choose a beer that's cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, and that's crush a Coors Light. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I'm Alex Gravatt. We're 6-0 all time against Rutgers, and I couldn't be happier about it. 42-7. The Badgers absolutely decimate the Scarlet Knights. That guy on the horse in the full costume of armor, he's running home. Mertz, just real quick, remind us how you feeling right now after the line moved one right before the game, which led me to believe that all the Sharks knew what was going on. Did you believe that this was going to happen?
Not anywhere near to this degree. No way in heck. I know Hunter, our producer, had this one 35-17, and he even overshot on Rutgers. So that's saying something, and that was like fire-fueled optimism there by Hunter in pregame. So I thought that if things went well, that this was there's like a 50-50 game, and Badgers maybe pulling out by a touchdown or something like that. I had my doubts about whether they'd be able to walk in and stack success. And they went in there with, like, no questions asked, guns blazing. I thought that strong start, again, just set the tone right away out of the gates. They were aggressive and energized and came out on a mission today.
That's Mertz. I'm Alex Gravatt. He mentioned Hunter Vaughn back in the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studios. He's got tweaks to the game ready to go for us.
Fingers turn to Twitter fingers.
Let's see what the trolls were saying. Here are today's tweets of the game on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Now, given where the camera is set up for the two of you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this is a little treat for our streaming fans this afternoon, as someone tweeted out a picture of Luke Fickell from high school.
Beauty.
With just the score, 42-7, and a Badger emoji. So, I mean, I figured this is an auto thumbs up. I just needed to share this with the world because that photo of Luke Fickell is incredible, and I can see why he went undefeated as a wrestler in high school.
Yeah, he looks like a unit. I saw a lot of those tweets who were Badgers or like the Badger emoji. You know, like that's how I feel today. It's just like stamp on it. We're back. This is Wisconsin football.
We're like a little bit of a distance from the screen here, Hunter. I want to think that was a mesh jersey, like a classic 80s mesh jersey.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Awesome.
If his hands weren't in the way, you'd be able to see a little bit of a six-pack there,
is it
too.
A bare midriff? Yeah. All right.
Those jerseys were the best.
I love that we're stuck on the bare midriff. What were you saying?
Well, before we get into any tweets directly about the Badger game, during the ESPN College Game Day pregame show, as Nick Saban was giving some sort of analysis, Oregon's duck mascot was holding up a sign that said, "Sydney Sweeney, call me back." Do you guys like the tweet from the Oregon Duck trying to rizz up Sydney Sweeney?
Okay, first off, absolutely. They've got there's a Sydney Sweeney, or no, not Sydney Sweeney. Oh wait, it might be one of the artists. I'm blanking, but there's a shoe that Oregon Ducks are doing with somebody, and I thought it was Sydney Sweeney, but it might not be right. Either way, what I love is her response. She puts it on her Instagram story, so other social media, whatever, and she says, "Sorry, I changed my number, try again later," which means she's out on the Ducks. And I love the Ducks. Like, I think that it's so fun. I'm kind of bummed that they're in the Big Ten because now I have to root against them, but, like, they've got the coolest jerseys. Their mascot being a duck is amazing. So I love the Duck Rizma. Give me Ducks. I don't know if I've said this on this show yet, but during Christmas, I put a tree up. But when I moved into my college house, I didn't have any ornaments. But I came into contact with an ungodly amount of the little rubber ducks.
Yeah.
And so I hang
like the
ducks.
chalk it up kind of stuff?
Yeah, like the ones that you see on Jeeps. And so I
Yeah.
put like 100 ducks on my Christmas tree. So I'm a duck guy. I don't know why, but I'm a duck guy.
I love the cross promotion. Why not? Why not just drop stuff and throw it in the water and see what happens? Beautiful. Love it.
Now, to the actual game, this tweet from Dylan Graff. The main thing holding back Ethan Kaliak-Manis back from being a good quarterback is his complete and utter inability to throw the football. Other than that, he's the total package. I told you in the pregame, dude sucks. He was straight up cheeks.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He was awful. I think I looked up at one point. He was 9 for 26. They're like, listen, Rutgers is in New Jersey, and I know that maybe in New York, football's just there's not the space for people to dedicate themselves to football the way that there is here, or specifically in Texas, or just the general Southeast. But man, how can you be that close to the biggest city in the United States, in North America, I think, and not be able to pull a better quarterback than that? He's awful. I'm so glad I'm not a Rutgers fan right now.
It's wild. My thinking on him is going to be forever jaded by him carving up the Badgers defense that one game while he was with Minnesota, and so I thought he would have a lot more to offer, and that was not even setting the bar that high. It was a really great defensive game plan today to just make him have to deliver from the pocket. And he missed guys. He missed wide open guys. Guys were dropping balls. It was not a good showing. You can't feel the Boo Birds. The Boo Birds were out at SHI Stadium, which is one of the all-time great names.
One last one here. This one from Scooby227. Hey.
First off, wait, stop. Great name, Scooby. I love it. That's fantastic.
He was going after a certain former Wisconsin Badger, saying, "Hey, where is at Braylon Allen at? Pretty quiet today." Got him.
Oh, but this is why you don't open your mouth that way on social. And I got a lot of things to say about how it was done. Personally, I don't think that's a good way of doing business, period. If you're connected to this Wisconsin Badgers program, I understand if you got some frustration about where things are headed. But this is your program that you are denigrating on social media. That is not helping your program, number one. Number two, if you got something to say, say it. Just leaving it hanging out there. I've got something to tell on a podcast later on. Like, come on, man. This is a guy that reeked of someone who had like one great NFL game and just wanted to let everyone know about it a little bit.
Wow, that's a hot take too.
Well, it was bad. It was like a lack of maturity, and he's better than that. And that's the thing that I think is harsh. Like, Braylon Allen, you gave your heart out for this program. What are you doing?
Did he though? And like, don't get me wrong, Braylon Allen's fantastic, and I think the world of him. He was very clearly a guy who came in, and I respect this. This is exactly how they're like. As you look at what happened with Ches Malusi, you need to be cognizant of this, specifically with talent who could go to the league. He took care of his body. He sat out plays in games where he could have played. I believe that. And he took care of his body so that he could do this. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. He needs to do that for his livelihood, for his family's livelihood, to set himself up for success and a long career in the league. But because of that, I don't know if I agree that he necessarily gave his all for this program.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it there.
I think there's a lot of people who have opinions about that, and I'll give a lot of space for that. I think that he took a lot of punishment when he was here, and there weren't a lot of other options around him. Could he have gone out there sometimes? Sure. But I just don't want to go too far down that track.
That's very true. You know, you don't know what he's dealing with and you know, what his pain tolerance is. And again, like I said, take care of your body for the league.
Hey, man.
You're going to go make millions of dollars. He will be a long-term running back in the league. I think he'll be around for a while. So, I'm glad he didn't tweet anything mean about this. I'd love to see him tweet something nice as his alma mater rips off 2 big wins. But, yeah, good call, Scooby.
Nah, there's no shot that he tweets out anything nice. Unless they lose another game, he's not going to tweet anything, and that's what's so annoying about it. Like, I've really lost a lot of the love that I had for Braylon Allen after this whole Twitter debacle. I don't even know if I should call it a debacle. Him just being a moron.
Wow. Well, that's the thing, man. Once you stake yourself to that position, how do you walk back from that?
Yeah, and especially when, like, he was a part of the teams that were so bad that I left after the jump around against Illinois. Like, he got the guy that brought him to Wisconsin fired. Whether he likes it or not, he and his teammates did. And then they had to do something to change things because they weren't good enough. And then he's going to sit here and, like, act like, oh, there's so much behind the scenes. They did him so dirty. Like, nah, you did him dirty because you sucked. Braylon Allen is reaching, if anyone watches Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, the one athlete I hate the most in the world is Jesse Winker. Yeah, Braylon Allen's getting very close. Like, that's where I'm at because of his Twitter antics.
Winker at least has a salvageable name, right? Like, there's reason to like that. I think that's funny. Man, yeah, you're out on him. Don't you have him on your fantasy football team?
Yeah, I do, and he's been sitting on my bench. He hasn't earned playing time yet. You kidding me?
Don't let your sidewalks or driveways get flagged for unnecessary roughness. Let concrete lifting technologies level your uneven, cracked pavement and save the work of replacing it. Raise your game and raise your concrete. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com. That was Tweets of the Game with our friend Hunter Vaughn back in the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studios. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. We are live from the fifth quarter in Verona. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day presented by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Oh, well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey friend, ready for a sweet trip down memory lane? Head to the bake sale at Quick Trip. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got 'em. Baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself. Only at Quick Trip.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You never know what's hiding behind the creepy cash door, but if you're not too scared to find out, it can be very rewarding. Every Saturday in October, Ho Chunk Gaming Madison will have 12 winners open a creepy cash door to reveal a cash prize of up to $2,500. Plus, one weekly grand prize winner will take home up to $10,000. That's $160,000 in possible cash prizes Saturdays in October. Nothing scary about that. Get your share of fun, frights, and prizes every Saturday at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come, right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Hey, this is John Audius, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball play-by-play broadcaster. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand, Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Callie McManus, it's up in the air, intercepted by Wisconsin. Preston Zachman hauls in the pick, his second of the year, and a huge turnover created by the defense.
That was Jeff Levering on the Big Ten Network. He had the call, and that's, where dreams came true today, as Brad Nortman has his list of his wish list for the year, and dreams are coming true as the Badgers win 42-7. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day Postgame Show. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. The Badgers win 42-7. Absolutely fantastic game, and we're about to get into Flush It or Flesh It, presented by the Gordon Flesh Company. For more than 65 years, Gordon Flesh Company has been providing cutting-edge technology for companies of all size as the nation's largest Canon and Lexmark dealers. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more. Take it away, Hunter.
Flush it.
We failed multiple times with bad ideas. I didn't know were bad till I realized they didn't work.
Or flesh it.
Yeah, that's one idea. Or we can work as a team.
Brought to you by Gordon Flesh Company. Business, technology, managed. Taking the worry out of your office equipment and IT needs.
All right, gentlemen. Starting off, flush it or flesh it. We should stop guarding our hearts as Badger fans and just admit they're back and embrace it.
Wow. At me next time, Hunter. Yeah, listen, let's flesh it out.
Yeah, flesh it.
I believe that the Badgers still have one real gut-wrenching, heartbreaking loss this year. I don't know where it is. I don't know when it is. I don't know why I feel that way, but the team needs to learn to lose together. And the two losses that they have on this season so far were early enough that they can kind of just say, we're learning, we're figuring it out. I feel like as we watch Penn State get absolutely trounced to begin this game against USC, 17-3 is the current score, and dropped almost touchdown. I don't see a world where they don't have one more in them. The question is, am I willing to really be hurt? Am I willing to let my heart get ripped out of my chest? I think the answer might be yes. What do you think?
I'm going to wait one more week.
Okay.
I'm going to wait one more week. I've seen too many disasters at Northwestern through the years, and I love where things are going, and that does not prove anything if you beat that Northwestern team next week, but it does give me a little bit more emotional shelter. So I'll wait that one more week, and then I'm all in the rest of the way if they go and take care of business in anywhere near this fashion that they did today.
So
the longest win. Oh, sorry. Go
no,
for it.
I was just going to say, Mertzy. So even with the fact that this Badgers team lost to Northwestern last year, and you've seen the times that they've struggled, if they just go out there and are like, we're ready to go, we're not going to let the weird 11 a.m. quiet crowd that always plagues games at Northwestern affect them, and they just go out there and dominate again, you're like, I feel like that's what this team is going to be able to do, because the beginning of this Rutgers game felt the way that a Northwestern game does, where it was just quiet, there's nobody there, and it was 11 a.m., and it just kind of sucked, but they went out there and went on a touchdown drive to open the game.
I just feel like there's such a separation in talent from especially the top of the Big Ten, but even that second tier where you're getting into like the USCs. I guess I'll throw Michigan in there. I'm not totally convinced on that one yet.
I think Michigan
Iowa
has entrenched itself in the upper middle range. USC, Michigan, probably not Washington, but yeah, they're a step below the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, and so I guess I don't want to take too much off of a whipping of a Northwestern team that obviously had a really strong showing last night, but against a Maryland team that's 0-for in the conference too.
5-5 in their last 10 matchups against Northwestern.
Wow.
Okay.
Up next, Tyree Walker should have been RB1 since the start of the season. Flush it or flesh it?
I'm going to say, okay, let's flesh it out. I want to talk about it. Yeah. There's reason to believe. Now, what Ches Malusi was able to do, not this past year, obviously all the injuries, but the year before his injuries, he looked dynamic, explosive, exciting. Now, because we know that he has that baseline in him, you have to give him the space to see if it comes back. You're not just going to move on in the NFL from your best running back because of an injury. Nick Chubb is coming back for the Cleveland Browns soon. I expect him to get a ton of work. He's going to look fantastic, I think, but it might take some time to get back. If after 5-6 weeks it's clear that he just doesn't have it anymore, then you start to look elsewhere. But I don't think you can say that he should have been buried on the depth chart coming back from an injury this soon.
I think the reality is that the coaching staff probably played this one right in terms of giving Ches every opportunity to hang on to that job. I felt like Tyree Walker got a fair number of carries. It wasn't like he was being hidden or anything along those lines.
Exactly
that was a 1A, 1B, it felt like to me, so I'm cool with that. But I think that it became just really obvious that Ches wasn't going to be able to do the kind of carry the kind of workload or have that kind of explosiveness that he had in the past. And as we talked about last hour, I think some of it too is just sort of the style that you want to inflict out there, and that Tyree at this point fits it a little bit better, which is odd because Ches was the answer last year, and when he went down against Purdue, I think we all took a deep breath and were like, these guys might have a tough time getting things going the rest of the season. But football is a brutal game, man. Like, it's harsh reality. If you were looking at it objectively, I think you could probably say, and they see it in practice every day, results on the field tell me, objectively, you probably could have said from game one, Tyree Walker should get more carries.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's how the world works.
Especially with the quarterback situation and Ches being one of your leaders in the locker room.
And he's a leader in the locker room.
I think that really was hard. And now that, that's all cleared up, it makes sense. There's one other thing I want to say here, and that's earned confidence. There is a level of, okay, well, hey, if we tell him right away, Tyree, you're our starting running back, you're the guy, that feels good. If after 3 games you look at it and say, you are the more dynamic back, and we need to make sure that we give you the opportunity to get going. To, what does Barry Alvarez always say? Lather him up. Lather him up. We want to give you the chance to go be our lead guy because you've proven it. There's a different mindset about that you have. And right, like, I saw this in the UFA with the Ultimate Frisbee players, right? There's a handful of guys who, okay, we're gonna start you. We're gonna work you into the rotations, and we had 2 guys almost finish as the most improved player of the year, and we had 2 guys go first and third in voting for Rookie of the Year because it was earned confidence that we built. So there is a level of that, and I know that it's different in the UFA and the Ultimate Frisbee Association Pro Frisbee than it is in Big Ten football. But athletes are athletes, man. And when you get told that you're the guy and you know you're the guy because you earned it, it's different.
Well, speaking of position battles, one last one here. Flush it or flesh it. Braden Locke should have been QB1 and won that quarterback battle at the beginning of the season.
I'm willing to flush this. I'm willing to flush it.
Yeah. I don't think so. Based on what I saw early on, I mean, yes, you're seeing it now out of him. What I saw early on was a lot of the same Braden Locke that I saw last year. Ability to make some throws, some nice plays, but the physical performance wasn't matching up to everything that we'd heard about his knowledge of the offense and how it operates and how to maximize it. So the light switch has gone on for that guy the last couple of weeks. Would it have gone on faster if he had opened as QB1? Potentially. But there's no way I would have taken that risk coming into this season as a coaching staff to not bring in another experienced quarterback to give him a run. He had every shot to win that job outright in camp, and he didn't. So I think that made the decision. That makes the decision easier for me.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. If he goes out there and he struggles, which there's a chance that he did, and even if he was the right guy, what does that say to people who want to transfer into the school? And I'm not – obviously you want to put the best team together and you need to be foundationally stern, this is it. But Fickle said, that's my guy. And he waited a long time to say that that's our starting quarterback. But he said, that's our guy. I want him. He transfers in. If he doesn't get the start, then if I'm a quarterback looking to transfer in, if I'm a wide receiver looking to transfer in, if I'm a running back or anyone on the defense looking to transfer in, and I know, even if he tells me I'm his guy, I might not know. I might not be able to trust it. I think that does play into the aura of it, right? You need to earn that spot, yes, but if they're neck and neck, then I want that latter option to be the case. I want to know that as I'm transferring in, I'm going to be the guy that they say I'm going to be.
Because I don't follow my own rules, I've got one more that I just kind of came up with.
Love it.
flush it or flesh it, the Badgers will only lose one more game all season long.
Flush.
Wait, I
Which
want
game?
I want
Which
to say
game
I want
are
to
they
flesh
losing?
this with Hunter.
Okay, you guys have fun.
I think that the only game that they lose is that Oregon game the rest
On
of the year.
my birthday?
Wow.
Because they're going to beat Northwestern. I think they beat Penn State, who is overrated, and I think that'll be considered a big game given the winning streak Wisconsin will be on. I think they can go to Iowa. They'll squeak out that victory, drop the game to Oregon, and then they win back-to-back at the end of the year at Nebraska and then at home against Minnesota. I think that's absolutely reasonable from this team, and that also puts them at my preseason prediction of a 9-win team.
Which would be absolutely astounding if that happens, given where they were at 2 weeks ago.
We're watching USC absolutely pound up on them. I think they just got a fumble recovery, and they're driving. They're on like the 30-yard line. I mean, Penn State's beatable.
I think Oregon's beatable too. They might.
Man, that would
there's
be
a
such
real
a good
chance they
birthday
lose tonight.
present. Oh, they're gonna lose tonight. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see it, man. But I don't have a good feeling about the game at Iowa.
I don't believe that Iowa's offense is actually fixed.
No,
That's my
it's
thing.
not. They have Cade McNamara quarterback.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, he's okay.
So scary.
He's okay, right? He's okay.
Mertz. He is
Is he
bottom
even okay?
third of the Big
Is
Ten.
he even okay?
Okay as in bottom third of the Big Ten, so like a MAC level quarterback.
Absolutely.
Like, dude wasn't going to be able to beat out Alex Orji, who cannot throw a forward pass at Michigan, and had to transfer to Iowa. That tells you everything you need to know about the quality of quarterback Cade McNamara is.
He's a budget kind of guy, and if you're on a budget, you can save money and save the planet, ditch the energy bill, and make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. We're all proud to be vibing with the Wisconsin Athletics today as they win 42-7. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day presented by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris chat with Bucks legend Junior Bridgman. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Spooktacular savings are happening right now at Metro Ford of Madison. With 212 new vehicles available for purchase, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. The 24 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $15.54 per thousand borrowed, plus $3,000 total cash. Check out the 24 Ford Mach-E with 1.9 APR financing for 72 months, plus a free EV charger and home installation. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Josh Gavel is a service manager with Kirsch Appliance. They have printer technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Josh?
I would say you're a business partner in helping us do what we need to do.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company with the whole package. Better technology, better support, better service.
You're always willing to help with any issues and have a good attitude.
An attitude of doing whatever it takes to help local businesses run more smoothly, efficiently, and cost-effectively, all to help their clients be more competitive and more successful. Josh, anything you'd like to tell others about James Imaging Systems?
Yeah, they will provide what you're looking for and figure out what solutions you need and come up with a good plan for you.
Sounds like a good plan, all right. Document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We start on Friday night as Northwestern took it to Maryland 37-10 out at College Park. Two games that have gone final today in the Big Ten. Iowa winning 40-16 over Washington. And then your Wisconsin Badgers, of course, dominating Rutgers 42-7 out in Piscataway. Two games currently going on in the Big Ten. At the half, USC is up at home on number 4 Penn State 20-6. And at the half, Illinois is up 24-3 over Purdue. Illinois, they're number 23 in the country. Two games that will kick off later tonight. Number 2, Ohio State. They're 5-0. They head out to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Ducks, who are number 3 in the country and also 5-0. That game kicks off at 6:30 on NBC. And then at 8 o'clock, UCLA, they host PJ Fleck and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Gross. Some other games in the top 25. Number 1, Texas, up 21-3 over number 18, Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Let's head back out to the 5th quarter in Verona.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Minnesota Gophers. Yuck. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Mertzy Adam Mertz. You heard Hunter Vaughn back in the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar studio give you the scoreboard update from around the country, and we're biased. We do not like the Golden Gophers.
They're yucky.
They're yucky, and they're going to be coming to the Badgers' hometown here in Madison not too long. So if our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during games this football season. For just $15, get a Coors Light, a round trip to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline in Rimrock Road. It's a fantastic setup. You can just run right out there and right back. But now we have game balls.
The highest honor this post-game show has to offer.
Just stick this in your trophy case.
Now, we award game balls on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
It's the game ball.
All right, I'm going to defer my game ball. You take it away first, Mertzy. I defer to the second half.
Sounds good. I like it. Do I have to take the wind or go against the wind? When you defer like that?
You get to choose.
Okay.
I'll defend this side.
Okay. So It's always so easy to go to the individual offensive performers that you see in a game, and there's a couple of guys that obviously warrant a game ball today. But I want to go back to the unit of the offensive line.
Heck yeah.
I'm all about the offensive line today. When you rack up, 309 yards rushing, 6.6 a carry, and just dominate the trenches against a Rutgers team that was purported to have a level of physicality that would give you a tough time today. For all the heat that unit's taken in the last few years, including from some of us on this broadcast, this unit of 5 has just done a really amazing job. They kept the pocket clean on top of the rushing game. Really impressed with the work that they've done, and they're giving Phil Longo an opportunity to expand this offense, and he's taken full advantage of it. So kudos to that offensive line. I'll even overlook Jake Renfro's 2 false starts, which I'm still trying to figure out.
You're the center.
How's possible at center.
You're the center.
We don't talk about that anymore.
The big belucas up front, as Derek Engler and Coach like to say on the Great Dane Huddle on Monday nights. Listen, my game ball, it's in honor of Tywee Walker.
Yep.
And I did fully think you were going to give it to him, so I wasn't going to give it to him. I'm actually using my game ball as a funeral for my love, my passion of Cade Yakimelli. The Yak Man.
Wow.
The Yak Monster.
This is big.
Yak Rot.
This is big.
Now, obviously, we knew he wasn't going to take over as the one in this post Ches Malusi era, but with the emergence of Darian Dupree, 10 carries, 26 yards, Cade got his 4 carries late in the game. Listen, it was a 45-yard run. It was fantastic. I think that Cade is going to go to the league, and he's going to be a really good James White-style back. He's got to find an offense where he can go be a pass catcher because he's so good at it. But on this Badgers team, it's over. He's going to come in late in games to provide a change of pace every once in a while, but Tywee is your 1, and Darian Dupree is emerging as the number 2. And so, my friend, my man, my comrade Cade, it's over, and I'm giving you the game ball because you had that 45-yarder, and it was beautiful, and I don't know if you're going to get another chance to do it. Hunter, take it away before I start crying.
I'm giving mine to an entire unit as well, but this one is going to go to the secondary of the Wisconsin Badgers. The Badgers had 5 pass deflections in this game, 4 of them from the secondary. Ricardo Hallman, Max Lofi, Nazir Forkerine, and Hunter Wooler all had pass deflections. Then you had Preston Zachman, the safety, with an interception, and he led the team in tackles today. The secondary was all over the place. They were able to shut down an already really bad passing attack, and it allowed this defense to get downhill after the running game. That whole unit was a huge reason why the Badgers were able to do what they did today. And I've just got to break up a game ball for the entire secondary group because they were incredible today. They gave up 1 big play all day.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So we all gave a game ball in a way. No person got a singular game ball. Mine kind of did, but it was like in honor of Tywee Walker, who had 198 yards on the ground today.
Dude, I've given a game ball to a mascot before on this. There is 0 journalistic integrity on this show.
The one thing that stood out about that report there, Hunter, I love you giving it to the secondary, was like, man, how many balls does Ricardo Hallman get thrown his way? Like 0?
Oh.
And he's kicking himself for that quote-unquote deflection that he should have picked off on that first
And
series.
I called my shot that he would have a pick, and he had it in his hands.
He had a pick.
I'm going to count it. I'm going to count it.
I'm going to be so salty.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't actually count, and you were the only one who guessed a blowout. Everyone else thought this was going to be close.
Yep.
Did anyone pick against the Badgers? I know I almost did, and then I last second flexed away from it. We all picked wins?
For pregame, yes.
Well, we're all
I
winners.
believe did some of our ESPN teammates
pick for sure. Yes, there are people who've picked against the Badgers. Rutgers looked really good. And man, I'm going back, listening to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights podcast that I was checking out this weekend just to see what they were saying about us. They said that the Badgers, it was going to be one of those games where forever you just lined up, you saw across the line of scrimmage, you're outmanned, you're outgunned, you're out-athleted, and you're just going to get pushed around. That is no longer the case. That this Badgers team is now fast and shifty, and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights were going to run the ball right down our throats. Well, that didn't happen. The Badgers won, and they won in the trenches for sure, and that's why we're all celebrating. If you are trying to celebrate, do it with Celebrations Entertainment. Planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movie nights, casino nights, and so much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day presented by Coors Light. We're wrapping it up on the other side. Catch you in a minute.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes: the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty Tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Brewed Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrewnerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrewnerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Looking to get away this winter? Well, now's your chance. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Our friends at Coors Light are giving away a Florida experience this December, and you could win. This trip for 2 includes a travel and hotel voucher, club-level tickets to the Boca Bowl on Wednesday, December 18th, and exclusive access to events surrounding the Boca Bowl. All you have to do is order an ice-cold Coors Light and scan the QR code at any of the following locations: Pooley's, Tanner's, Draft House, and Paoli Pub. Coors Light. Enjoy responsibly.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some hallelujah.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day Postgame Show presented by Coors Light and in part by Pepsi, a proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin football player Hunter Wohler gets ready for game day with Pepsi, and you should too. Try Pepsi Zero Sugar, the perfect drink for your tailgate party and tasty mixer. Now, we only have a moment, Mertz. I'm Alex Gravatt. Moving forward, what do we expect? We've got Northwestern coming up. We're 5-5 somehow against Northwestern over the last 10 matchups. What do you think?
I think that the Badgers have put themselves in position to take care of business next week, to stack another success on top of this. This is their 500 yards these last 2 weeks in total offense. First time since 2010. I expect Northwestern to be a little more stout, but I think that this should be a 2-touchdown-plus game, a 2-touchdown-plus win, setting themselves up for a awesome last month of the season. We'll see if Locktober continues with some of this outstanding play from the quarterback.
Listen, if it does, we have to get that somewhere. We need to get that up on socials. I'm going to put it as my Facebook background, Locktober, and it's just a picture of Braden Locke locked in. I'm excited for it. It's weird that we think of Northwestern as somehow better than Rutgers, but I think that might be the case. I'm going to go out on a limb right away. The Badgers have won 2 games by a margin of 35 or more. I think that they're going to extend that to 3, and the Badgers are going to win that one. Let's go another 40. We'll go 45-14.
Putting up the big points.
Big
All right.
points. I expect it. It's going to be great. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day presented by Coors Light. Thank you to Hunter Vaughn back in the ESPN Medicine Everlight Solar Studios. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Adam Mertz. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.